AM 96.3 FM, The Source.
All right, 5 minutes after 9 o'clock. It is time for Veterans News. Today's Veterans News is a full hour long. And remember, we do have phone lines you'll be able to call in during the course of the show. Right now, let me introduce you to the Captain, Joe Martone. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, everyone, and all supporters of veterans and veterans. Welcome aboard. Captain of the show, welcome aboard. I did that pretty good. Welcome aboard. This is Veterans News, brought to you each week by WOC and other fine people. Veterans News is to keep you informed. Remember, Larry gave you the number a moment ago. Do call in with your questions or comments. Keep them short, but questions, let's roll with them. We have the two doctors here, Dr. T and Dr. E. Very good, very good. And we will get to them.
The other way would be Dr. E and Dr. T, or E.
I'm not in alphabetical order. Are you kidding me? I'm not even politically correct this morning.
We won't phone home. That's okay.
I even button most of my buttons, so I'm okay. And I use my left hand, too. Well, let's get to everybody that's helped us here. Of course, Veterans News is brought to you by Bob Wine's Community Gardens and Nursery. They're located at 2610 Southeast 38th Street in Ocala. When it comes to the landscaping, Bob Wines has what you need. Everything from small plants to large trees, mulch, fertilize, and so much more. Bob Wines will even deliver, plant, and guarantee their trees. Bob Wines Community Gardens and Nursery has been keeping you blooming since 1952. Not as old as dirt, but they know their stuff about it. Give them a contact if you have a question. 352-629-5766. That's 352-629-5766. And remember, Bob Wines Community Gardens honors veterans with 10% off with proper identification. And Veterans News is also brought to you by Hires Baxley Funeral Services and Highland Memorial Park. Hires Baxley's has had generations of families honor them with their trust and confidence. They believe it's because for the last 128 years, their team of caring professionals have established a reputation of serving families with excellence and compassion. Hires Baxley's currently partners with the Boy Scouts of America, Troop Number 72, to properly dispose of decommissioned American flags. They are also a drop-off location for the program Cell Phones for Soldiers, helping to provide minutes that matter and helping heroes home. Hires Baxley is located at 910 East Silver Springs Boulevard in Ocala. Or for information, give them a call, 352-629-7171. 352-629-7171. Information can also be found at hiresbaxley.com. There we go. And we appreciate it. And WOC, of course, is a supporter of Veterans News. And a lot of things are happening. Matter of fact, this coming Saturday from 3 to 7 p.m., the Abbott of Florida Incorporated Forest Chapter is hosting the Candidates Forum at the VFW Veterans Village, and that's in Fort McCoy. So if you're interested in going there, it's going to be from 3 to 7. The 21st is what, this Saturday? Yes, it's a Saturday. Give them a call if you got a question. I have two numbers, so I'll see them slow, and get your pencils ready, as you all know. During Veterans News, have your pencils ready. You never know, we'll give you some information you need to jot down. It's 352-328-6514. Again, 352-328-6514. Or 352-361-1262. Area code 352-361-1262. There you go. And that's coming up there. And we're just going to rattle all these through because I don't want to take up, once we start with you gentlemen, I'm going to roll with you for the rest of the time. Again, Veterans Helping Veterans USA is located here in Marion County, and we're having two events coming up. One is in October, and we'll keep adding to it. They haven't gotten to me if this one is full, but I understand last I talked to him, it was very full. Of course, they can call in if you're listening, Hank, or Gary or anyone. Give me a call and correct me, because I don't know at all if you don't give me the information. But we got the First Responders Breakfast, Friday, October 26th. Doors open at 7:30. Event begins promptly at 8 a.m. and ends at 9 a.m. It's at the Holiday Inn here in Ocala. It's free to all first responders, and sponsorships are available. So if you have any questions, give Jinky a call. Area code 352-286-9491. That's 286-9491, and that's in October 26th. And if you want to go all the way to December, well, that's the 5th annual Magical Christmas. We're going to have a sock hop, and that's December 7th. It's a Friday, and that is going to be fun around the clock again. Jinky's doing that also. So if you want to just give her a call, I'll throw that number at you one last time if I can get this page open again here. Oh, let's see when you want to do something. All right, here we go. 286-9491. There you go. 286-9491. All righty. And that's what's happening here in town for helping Veterans USA, which of course helps everyone out, all the veterans that need it to fall through the cracks. We have a lot of good things to say about them, and I'm proud to be vice chair. And if you're in and around Ocala right now, it is pouring rain out there. What's the temp, Larry? Approximately. Let's see what the temp is, Kimmy. Let's see.
There it is, 81.
81 degrees and pouring rain. And it is coming down. Of course, I've never seen rain go up, but that's unless you go to Disney, then it probably go up. But anyway, so we're gonna talk to you two gentlemen this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
We'll make it official so everyone in Radioland can know. Yes. Welcome again. You come once a month, and I'm glad you take out an hour of your time to come here and do this for us here and all the veterans. We do appreciate it, because we know how busy you are over there, and it's getting busier and busier and busier. We had a nice discussion before we get into the nuts and bolts of this about the new facility that has been approved. We all know it's been approved at $6.2 million or whatever the number is. I don't remember exactly. It's been approved, but someone is mucking up the waters, as they say, because we're not anywhere near going anywhere. It's going on 2 years. It's been approved, approximately. Mm-hmm. And all I know, if you bought a house, or you're going to build a house, and you give, I got $2-something million, that house, the ground would have been broken by now. Mm-hmm. It would have been somewhere. Mm-hmm. So someone is dragging their feet or stomping it. All right, and do you have any idea what the heck's going on?
No, the process it's ongoing, because we'll be meeting with Washington.
Washington.
Yes, with Washington staff from the VA.
Yeah.
And Gainesville staff of the planification of the new facility. We don't know where it's going to be built, but we're working with building blocks, like inside, how it's going to look like, supplies and everything, equipment.
Right. We're talking a facility that's going to be built from the ground up, or are we talking maybe taking over something that's already in existence and retrofitting it?
We don't know yet. We don't have that information.
Okay, so we're still up in the air with all of this. And last I heard also, they're thinking of, remember that, again, 2 years ago, mm-hmm. That nursing home that was going to be put at the top of the world in that area over there, mm-hmm. and we came in second. They were talking about putting it right next door to mm-hmm. the new Veterans Clinic. And I'm going, that'd be interesting. But so we have no location, no plans. How do we facilitate it? How can the veterans help? Is there any way we can help, or are we just getting away?
Well, the process is ongoing.
Right.
But at this point, we don't know where it's going to be built, at least from our end. The Washington staff members and the upper leadership, they are working with Congress and the Senate about it. The budget is approved and everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm confused about.
And the plans are moving forward because we've been attending to meetings at least every month, every other month, and things are moving forward.
It doesn't seem here for 2 years. It seems like it's like.
Yeah, it's. I would like to know where it's going to be as well.
Right, exactly.
But according,
there's nothing we can do, our local legislatures or our senators or Congress, nothing here locally that can be done to facilitate. Like, we got the money, let's do this.
Yeah. Well, again, the facilities that are planned, Ocala is not the only one. There are more than other facilities that are also in pending construction.
Okay.
Jacksonville has a facility.
Okay.
In this fall, Lake City is going to open a new facility for a primary care clinic. So they are moving forward with the plans that are already established.
Well, not what I wanted to hear, but it is what it is. Let's take a break and we'll come back. How's that, Larry?
Sounds good.
That out-of-this-world summer blowout sale continues all week at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens. Here's what you need to do. Check BobWinesCameliaGardens.net, then head on over for your share of the hot weather savings. This week, Bob's having a rare buy one, get one on tropical bushes. Dozens of your favorites. The list is too long to name here. They're regularly $30 to $40 tropicals, but this week, you buy one, you get one free. Bob has your favorite ground cover, including Minima, Jasmine, Ajuga, and many more. Regularly $6.99, you get 6 for just $24.99. All citrus trees take 20% off. All shade trees, buy one and get a second one for half price. That's this week at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens. Daily till 4:30, Saturdays till 3, in the same blooming place since 1952.
Hi, Matt Wilkerson here, your Verizon representative with news that will hum your car, make it smart and safe. How? With the new Hum device by Verizon. You can rest assured you're never alone. Flat tire? Lost? Accident? For $10 a month, Hum by Verizon has you covered. And I will come to you in Marion County to install the Hum for free. Time to call me at 352-528-0020. Are you ready to hum along? Call 352-528-0020.
In the good old summertime, it takes you back, doesn't it? Makes you think and remember. What did you do in the summertime when you were a kid? At Palm Garden of Ocala, we see folks who are young at heart, but their bodies are giving them a tough time. Our goal for every guest we serve is to bring them to their highest level of independence. Come visit us soon. We're located on the corner of Southwest 27th Avenue and 34th Street. And when you're in the hospital, ask for Palm Garden by name.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440. Our tractor services include bush hog, disking, front-end loader, box blade, and stump grinding. We also have zero-turn mowers for the smaller paddocks, aisleways, fence rows, and lawn care. Fence row spraying is also available for weed control. We are licensed and insured. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440, or online at powellgene, Gene, at yahoo.com. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. Gene is a proud United States veteran.
And we are back with more Veterans News. Welcome back, everyone. Remember, the number to call is 622-9622, area code 352, if you have questions for the doctors. Doc, I took up a little time at the beginning of this. Now it's all yours, and I have a cheat sheet in here, so we're going to be talking about summertime health tips. And I like the way you put things together, not for veterans, just to live the life, a better life, and be careful and do things. Go ahead. Let's go with food and water. Start off with that. How's that?
Well, whenever you think
favorite.
of Florida, what's the first thing that most people think of is heat. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's hot out. Well, it's not quite as hot now because it's rained, so it's cooled it down a little bit, but it's still hot and muggy. So if you're out there having fun, or if you're out there not having fun because you've got honeydews and various things that are outside, like mowing the lawn and various other tendings, you need to keep hydrated. And that's a big issue here in Florida because you do have to continue with water and keeping yourself hydrated. Yeah, there's a lot of so-called hydration drinks and stuff out there, and some of that is okay, but the basis for this is water. Now, one of the things you often see is, I got to have another beer. Well, I have nothing against beer, but beer has alcohol in it, which blocks a hormone called antidiuretic hormone. The body, you get some fluid into it, it says, well, I got too much, we send it to the kidneys, get rid of it. But when the kidneys get a little overexcited, I'm going to get rid of some more, the brain sends this hormone called antidiuretic hormone, says, cool it, Sparky, we need to hang on to some of that water. Well, when there's alcohol on board, Sparky doesn't pay attention to the antidiuretic hormone, it just lets it go. So it does actually work as a diuretic.
Wow.
That's where you get the old expression that beer is rich in vitamin P.
Oh, that was funny. Rich in vitamin P. Oh, my goodness.
I mean, some beer stuff isn't going to hurt.
Only you. Dr. E with vitamin P. Okay.
But you do want a basis of your hydration as water, and you want to drink on a regular basis. And I'm the kind of guy that if I get going on something, I don't want to stop. All of a sudden, I can either walk back now to the house and get something to drink, or I can crawl back later, hopefully, in about 5-10 minutes. So, you got to just stop, cool down, and get your water.
When I cut the lawn, I use a riding lawnmower. It's got that cup holder in there, and I always put a cold drink in it all the time.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
This is probably from advertising, but what is an electrolyte?
It's basically any sort of salt, basically sodium, potassium, and sometimes a little bit of glucose. And you do tend to sweat out a lot of sodium when you're active outside. Usually we can replace that with just our normal food. Once in a while, if you're exerting very heavily and just taking in water and maybe not much else, you actually get low in sodium. I had an experience with this in 1973. Actually, remember that year.
Good for you, yeah.
And we went to the Grand Canyon. So we hiked to the bottom, came back up. It was 107 at the very bottom. Mm-hmm. We got in the water to try and cool off, but it was about 50 degrees, and it was very steep. We couldn't just get in, so we got our legs wet. We came back up. We had more water than we knew what to do with. But on the way back up, we got to the rest area, a camping area that had a springs there. We didn't think we were going to make it out. We were just so exhausted because basically we had plenty of water. We'd had some sodas, and we'd had a couple of sandwiches. And the guy was there. He says, "Here, try a couple of these salt tablets." We took those, and within 15 minutes, it's like they charged my battery back up because at that point we'd actually depleted the salt.
Wow.
Now, usually that doesn't happen because, if you're working around the house, you get something to drink, maybe you have some chips or have something that's got a little salt in it, and that's going to take care of it. But once in a while, you'll need a little extra salt with that, too. And like the Gatorade and those sort of things, those do have some electrolyte replacement. You can use some of that, but water's still going to be the basis for hydration.
But they also have sugar, and isn't that like a bad thing?
Yeah, and sugar adds calories. Yeah. If you have diabetes, it can push your sugar up, where if it gets to above a certain level, then the kidneys say, hey, sugar's too high, we're getting rid of it. So it kicks the sugar out into the urine, and then that pulls more water with it. So it also can be considered rich in special vitamin P as well.
Vitamin P. Here he goes. Vitamin P.
But one thing you can do, you can go to the bathroom once in a while, just notice if the urine's very dark, that's your body saying, hey, we need more water.
Oh, okay.
So what is it pulling from your kidneys or something when it gets dark?
It's just more concentrated. When you have more than enough water, the urine's going to be very, very light in color, and it'll gradually get darker and darker just because of other stuff that is being excreted by the kidneys as well. If it gets dark, it's just a sign you need more water.
Well, that's happened to me. I can actually say that.
I didn't want to know that.
Too much information.
On that happy note.
Right.
I didn't say how the duration was or anything.
And one of the other things we want to talk about is food. You're going to have a picnic outside. You're going to go to the beach. So you're going to take some food with you, or family, friends, neighbors. Oh, we're going to have a potluck. Let's get together and bring stuff. Oh, yeah, there you go. Well, two things are very important with that. You're going to be out having a good time. Keep the cold foods cold until they're ready to serve, and keep the hot foods hot until they're ready to serve. Because as soon as they get down close to room temperature, this is really good stuff, and the bacteria like it just as well, if not better, than we do.
Really?
And then bacteria likes to start and grow, and no matter what we do, we can't eliminate all the bacteria from the food. Mm-hmm. And there's a couple of things that go ahead. There's a phone call?
Yes, sir.
Get your ears on.
If you want to put your headset on.
Get your Mickey Mouse ears on.
I don't mean to cut you off when I did that.
That's all right.
Just letting you know. Good morning. Thank you for calling. You're on the air.
Yes, thank you for taking my call. Speaking of salt, at home in your salt shaker, would you recommend sea salt over regular salt? And if you do, what is the advantage of it?
There's really not.
Okay.
Okay.
Could you not hear him? Is that what it was? Okay.
There we
loud.
go. It was a little bit loud. Sorry about that.
Oh, it was too loud. Okay.
Yeah. There's
Yeah,
really
the
not much
adjustments over
difference
here.
between the two. The sea salt will have a few other things like bromine and a few other trace elements in it, but effectively there's not that much difference. It's just a matter of taste.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for calling.
Your headsets are okay now?
Hey,
They're
Doc,
good.
your headset okay?
Headset's
Yeah,
great.
it's got the little adjustments over here on the base.
So anyway,
His eyes are going wacko on it, the poor man.
yeah, it's kind of like a pinball machine, you know. But
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
So, but bacteria can get in there and can cause problems. There's a couple ways it can do that. Number one, some of them form spores and they hang on for a while, and then you cook them and stuff, they may not completely die, and that's a concern. But the other thing is when you're preparing the food, you know, you've been working, you've been doing stuff. Oh, I've got this little blister right by my nail. It's got a little bit of I just squeeze that out of it, wash it off, we're good to go.
I don't think so.
Because that's usually caused by staph. And staph likes to grow in food.
No.
And what happens, you prepare it, it sits for a little while, it grows and produces these toxins, or little, basically protein-based poisons.
Mm-hmm.
Then if you heat the food up, the staph is killed, but its poison is still there.
Oh my gosh.
And it's heat stable. So you eat it, and boy, this is really, really good. And then a few hours later, I had an experience with this at a Mr. Quick food store somewhere in the middle of Iowa on my way to Wisconsin. And I had a great little hamburger and stuff, and it was doing great. And about 2 hours later, I started feeling like a cow. You know, they like to chew their cud. And I says, hey, this isn't right. Then my stomach
Much
starts
information
doing
talking
funny.
about me, huh?
You're a real mover. There you go. By the time I got where I was going, it was obvious that was
You
not
were
going to be
going.
happening.
So the
didn't catch
question
that. That's a good
about
one.
that, I mean, it sounds like I shouldn't ever go to a buffet anymore, but it sounds like you got a wrapped sandwich?
Yeah, it was a wrap sandwich, but somebody who had been handling it, prepared it, had a sore on their finger, had gotten in there, the staph had grown, it produced the toxin, or it may have even been before the hamburger was cooked, and then the bacteria was killed. But this was a preformed toxin. It hits you quick, makes you feel sick for a couple of days, and then it's gone.
So you don't go to buffets, I'm guessing.
We tend to avoid it, actually, but you don't necessarily have to avoid. I mean, that doesn't happen real common, but if it happens right after you eat something, it's usually a staph food poisoning.
It's too late.
So when you go on a picnic, let's say, or you're going out in the summertime, and you're going to cook hamburgers, those hamburgers must be kept under ice before you go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because the person that has the shape in them, if they're bare hands or a little bit of staph, it'll grow in there, it'll get the toxin, you cook it, the bacteria is killed off, but the toxin's still there.
Mm-hmm.
There's another bacteria, however, it's a little bit different, and it's called Clostridia perfringens. And I'm sorry I said that in public, aloud. But anyway, that's the name of a bacteria that likes to form spores, and it'll form a toxin also. But its toxin is heat labile, so if it happens before it's cooked, then you're okay. But afterwards, if it sits, you have a nice warm dip for your nachos. You know, it's got some cheese, it's got some beef, and it's got some
It's
other
good.
stuff. And you're just really enjoying that. Oops, there's the toxin in that. And unlike the staph usually can cause nausea, vomiting. This one usually will cause diarrhea, and again, it's usually within about 12 to 24 hours that can happen. It's a very common thing. So if we keep that cold, it doesn't have a chance. If it keeps it cold before it's done, it doesn't have a chance to grow. Or if it's hot, keep it hot until just before it's served. It can't grow, so you don't have that stuff going on.
So keep it cold, and then cook it right away and eat.
Yeah.
Now, many picnics we've been to, and they cook all the hamburgers, and there it is in a aluminum pan. All right, grab your hamburgers. Right, and everybody's grabbing hamburgers until they get to the bottom too, and they're kind of lukewarm. They're not hot anymore. Those are the ones that might be in danger.
That's quite possible. Yeah, that's what to be concerned about.
Moly.
And remember, the meat should be cooked. I mean, people like the hamburgers depending on the term, like raw.
No.
Well done or medium
Well done,
medium or whatever. You know, you need to remember that as more raw the food and the meat is, more danger you can experience with getting intoxicated with food.
Wow.
So, you know, well done means dry, and people doesn't like dry food.
Okay, well, we're going to be right back right after this break with more talking about food.
Fox News Radio, I'm Chris Foster. President Trump says privately he did tell Russian President Vladimir Putin to stop trying to interfere with our elections. He tells CBS News he holds Putin personally responsible.
Well, I would, because he's in charge of the country, just like I consider myself to be responsible for things that happen in this country. So certainly, as the leader of a country, you would have to hold him responsible, yes.
Vladimir Putin tells a group of diplomats today his summit with President Trump was a success. With some Democrats calling for its abolishment, the House passes a resolution expressing support for the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency.
Despite the rhetoric being pushed by the left, the American people support Immigration and Customs Enforcement.
Louisiana Republican Clay Higgins' resolution passed 244 to 35. More than 100 Democrats voted present, calling the vote a political distraction.
Fox's Jared Halpern. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Napa know-how. If you're a fan of quality parts, Napa's a fan of you. And we're showing the love all week long with double points for Napa Rewards members. Not a member? Not a problem. Just sign up when you check out to get double points in your entire purchase. But don't wait to get rewarded. Double points and Sunday. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
Offer available July 16th through July 22nd.
Dad, what are you doing?
Cramming for college.
I'm the one going to college.
Yeah, but we need to figure out how we're going to pay for it all.
Discover Student Loans.
Discover does student loans?
Yeah, they're one of the top student loan lenders in the country. It takes 15 minutes or less to apply, and there are no fees for the life of the loan. Best of all, I can earn cash rewards if I get good grades.
Really?
Yeah, we still have time to apply and get a great rate.
So I can just chill. College kids still say that, right?
No one says that, Dad.
Really?
Yeah.
Visit discoverstudentloans.com to apply today. Limitations apply.
It's been a long week and I just don't feel like cooking. Can't the cooking fairies come and do it for me?
They may not be fairies, but they're pretty magical.
Who's that?
Honey Baked Ham of Ocala. They're having a special limited time offer picnic pack for just $19.99.
Oh?
You get a half pound of honey baked ham slices plus another half pound of smoked or roasted turkey breast. Add to that a pound of your choice of deli side and a package of King's Hawaiian rolls, and your dreams just came true. But hurry, this offer won't last long. Honey Baked Ham, 2709 Southwest 27th Avenue, just behind Best Buy.
That out-of-this-world summer blowout sale continues all week at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens. Here's what you need to do. Check Bob Wine's CameliaGardens.net, then head on over for your share of the hot weather savings. This week, Bob's having a rare buy one, get one on tropical bushes. Dozens of your favorites. The list is too long to name here. They're regularly $30 to $40 tropicals, but this week, you buy one, you get one free. Bob has your favorite ground cover, including Minima, Jasmine, Ajuga, and many more. Regularly $6.99. You get 6 for just $24.99. All citrus trees take 20% off. All shade trees, buy one and get a second one for half price. That's this week at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens. Daily till 4:30, Saturdays till 3, in the same blooming place since 1952.
Hi, Matt Wilkerson here, your Verizon representative with news that will hum your car, make it smart and safe. How? With the new Hum device by Verizon. You can rest assured you're never alone. Flat tire? Lost? Accident? For $10 a month, Hum by Verizon has you covered. And I will come to you in Marion County to install the Hum for free. Time to call me at 352-528-0020. Are you ready to hum along? Call 352-528-0020.
In the good old summertime, it takes you back, doesn't it? Makes you think and remember. What did you do in the summertime when you were a kid? At Palm Garden of Ocala, we see folks who are young at heart, but their bodies are giving them a tough time. Our goal for every guest we serve is to bring them to their highest level of independence. Come visit us soon. We're located on the corner of Southwest 27th Avenue and 34th Street. And when you're in the hospital, ask for Palm Garden by name.
Boy, in a good old summertime, we're talking about food here. Boy, it kind of fit right in there. We had a caller called in the other line. I don't know why they call in the 732-8000 line. but maybe they don't want to be on the air. But they had a question. Doc, would you please?
Yes, sir. So the question is, what about the smokers where the meat is cooked for 23 hours? Is that safe to eat?
Here we go.
Well, I want to be careful about stepping on any toes. Number one, from the bacterial standpoint, if it's cooked at the smoker and it's at a hot enough temperature, bacteria is not going to grow in there. The underlying question is whether or not the smoke and you've got a low oxygen content, so curious chemistry occurs when meats and proteins and organic stuff like that is cooked for a long time, and you can get benzene or what they call polycyclic amines. Heterocyclic amines.
You could have made a mistake, and I would have stood there and still nodded yes. I would have known.
I'm sorry. I try not to use language like that in public, but sometimes it just slips out.
Well, that's what you do for a living. We just sit there and go,
or
No, it's always Never argue with your doctor. What do you?
But there is some studies that suggest some of those could be carcinogens, and it's a dose relation type of thing. In other words, it's like sunshine. You get a little bit, it's not going to hurt you. If you get massive doses of it, it can cause various cancers, and we'll be talking about that a little bit later too. So as far as bacteria, it's probably safe unless the temperature gets down below about 110 degrees inside the cooker. They're going to be up high enough that's not going to happen.
Yeah, because
so it's just a question.
Pork, put the whole pig in there, and I just met a young lady. She's from Puerto Rico. Her family's from Puerto Rico, and they did the whole pig with the stick turning. Thank you. I was going to get fancy with the word, but I couldn't think of a fancy word. So the stick, and it turned, and it cooked with the coals underneath. They didn't do it by hand. They had the motor, and then what they did, they took the motor off and have, like she said, a steering wheel. And then they turn it real slow so the outsides get crispy.
Yes.
See, he knows exactly.
Crispy critters.
Yes.
And then it just critters, and then the meat she said the meat just fell right off. So with that said, in other words, that was cooked well.
Yeah, it's cooked well, and with that you don't have the other things being produced. But you get the same thing with your backyard barbecue. I mean, whether it be in a smoker for a long time with backyard barbecues, and backyard barbecues may actually be more concerned, but they're done at a higher temperature, which can produce even more of these potential carcinogens on that. But again, it's a dose response. We do all kinds of stuff that may or may not cause cancer. I mean, even flying on an airplane, there's a certain amount of risk because of radiation at the high altitudes, especially now that we're at solar minimum, but I won't go into that.
How are you feeling? Fine. Got a light bulb?
Yeah.
Wow.
One other thing I would mention is to be careful with chicken, because chickens, you get cows, they eat grass. Chickens eat everything. And of course, so do pigs and stuff. So they have to be thoroughly cooked, and because there's a specific bacteria called salmonella that likes to grow there.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
And
it's funny, salmonella doesn't grow in salmon. Or does it?
No, it doesn't. No, and it's not related to anything that DeMarcos did to the Philippines either. Salmonella.
In your corner.
But anyway,
in your corner line.
The juices that are with that too, if they mix with some of the other foods, the raw juices, they can contaminate the other foods. Stuff that you wouldn't think would cause salmonella could with that. So just keep the chicken separate, keep it well cooked. When it's done, then it's great.
Well, I've got the question here. You've got undercooked eggs can also cause it.
In other words, your easy over eggs, there's a potential there. It doesn't happen very often, but there's a potential.
As a kid growing up, I used to get the egg, put a needle on one side, put a hole in the other side, and ate it raw.
Wow.
That explains it.
That's nasty.
No, it was good. And as I grew, then I had what they call egg in your beer. A small glass of beer.
Yeah.
Drop the egg in it raw, and then...
It doesn't happen very often, but there is a risk of the salmonella, and you especially want to make sure that the egg's been well cleaned before you...
How can you tell? It's on the inside.
Well, you want to make sure there's nothing unusual on the outside that you wouldn't...
Oh, yeah, no leftover. Yeah, well, they're supposed to be washed.
You can tell when the egg, it's...
Well, yeah, it's brown, yeah. Well, it's hard to tell if you got to pull it eggs, because they're all brown.
And then the last thing I have to mention about food is veggies. Okay, veggies, you don't think of anything real bad about that, except they basically come to you raw. They're uncooked, and that's okay. That's how we like our lettuce, we like our radishes, we like our various other, our tomatoes and stuff. Mm-hmm. But they can actually carry some E. coli with that. I grew up on a farm.
How do they get it?
Well, number one, dirt is mostly a very high percentage is basically E. coli. That's what dirt is, because it's an enteric pathogen that gets dropped on the ground by everything that flies, walks, and whatever's.
It's true.
And when I grew up on a farm, when you're out in the middle of the field and you need to do certain things,
there you go.
There's no place to go, so you just address matters as necessary. And believe me, corn leaves do not work well for personal hygiene, but you do the best you can. Now, if that happens to be a vegetable, I mean, this has been...
All letters to Dr. E.
Rarely there have been cases where it's been traced to certain farms where they think that certain workers may have been involved with it, but it's hard to say. But the one that's real scary is the enterotoxigenic E. coli. It can actually cause breakdown of blood, and then that can fill up and get into the kidneys and plug up the kidneys and cause some problems. These are rare, but one thing I'd recommend when you get ready to do your greens, your other vegetables you're eating raw, get a little spray bottle of peroxide and a little spray bottle of household vinegar.
Peroxide and vinegar.
Yeah, and then just take the fruit, rinse it off.
Now I know what that means, H2O2.
Yeah, that's peroxide.
I know what H2O was, but H2O2, I said, no, I thought it was a clerical error, but
no.
That's hydrogen peroxide.
Yeah.
Hydrogen peroxide.
You squirt that and a little white vinegar or any kind of vinegar?
Just white household vinegar. Just spray that, let it set for, and then spray it with the peroxide. Just let it set for a little bit, rinse it off.
A little bit. Give me.
Half a minute.
Okay, 30 seconds.
Yeah,
okay.
And then actually, there have been studies done.
Rinse it with water and then eat it.
Yeah, that'll get rid of 90%.
You notice how he said rinse it with water, because there might be something out there, spray, and then go, wait a minute.
Yeah, rinse it off real good. Get that stuff off there, because you don't want that in your mouth or on your clothes either, with the peroxide particularly. But that will kill well over 90% of the bacteria on there, whereas ordinary washing will get rid of about 15-20%.
Really?
That's something you can do that help protect against that sort of thing.
That's good to know. So we go to the dollar and get the dollar store and get the little squirt bottles and mark them with a pen which one is which. H2O2. I know what H2O2 is now.
Yeah, earlier we discussed what is H2O4.
H2O24? What's it for?
H2O is for hydration. Okay. I think we've gone far enough with the food.
Oh, okay. Well, we have about 3 minutes, so if you want to start it on sunshine, you could start in, and then we'll take a break and we'll continue.
Okay, what is Florida known as its motto?
Sunshine State.
Sunshine State.
But we're not the most sunshine state in the United States.
Yeah, but we got the motto, we got rights on it, so they'll just have to stand in line.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's a sunshine state because we do get a lot of sunshine, and it's fun to go out and enjoy the sun, and there's ways to do it safely. Sun, if we have prolonged sun exposure, we've all had sunburns. I mean, if anybody says they haven't been sunburned, they haven't been out in the sun, or else they have a very poor memory. And the more exposure you have to the sun, more sunburns or the cumulative effect, it can cause some problems with skin cancers and aging. You look at this, this person's got a wonderful tan. Okay, great. Year after year, after about 10, 20 years, they say, look at that saggy, old, wrinkled skin. And that's a cosmetic thing, and it actually will thin the skin. It'll cause scarring of the skin, and the beautiful look that you're trying to get.
The skin.
Yeah, the thickness of the skin is so much, and at the time with the sun, it'll actually get thinner because the basal layer where the skin starts to grow up, that gets thinner between that and the top where it starts to shed.
I was going to just ask you. They say we shed our skin, our whole body,
normally.
How many times a year? Any ideas?
Every day you're shedding old cells and skin.
Every day?
Every day.
Generally from the base to the top, it's about 5 to 7 days. Is roughly.
Really?
Yeah, from the basal layer where that's produced.
And then of course, we reproduce underneath, and it pushes the old away.
It keeps growing, and it's designed to flake off, and a little bit of oil with it keeps everything moisture.
But with the sun, it evaporates the oils. In your skin.
Yeah, it interferes with the oil production. So
basically you're like a piece of bacon.
Or ham,
yeah. Well, that depends. It depends what industry you work in. In our case, it's ham. Yeah, I know.
It becomes leathery with time.
Yeah. Leathery.
Yeah.
I have a quick question about complexion. It seems like those lighter complected people get a worse sunburn. Does that mean they're more susceptible to skin cancer?
Yeah.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Redheads.
Yeah, you got
very white skin.
Yeah, you got this cheap white skin, and it does, it does burn, and it can cause problems. You have to be very careful with it.
But in Italian, they say I'm oily, so I don't get I don't know why.
Sometimes you're late, but once in a while you're oily.
Oh, and on that note, let's take a break, Larry. How's that sound?
All right, we'll be right back. If you have a question, by the way, the phone lines are open, 622-9622.
Frogs are so hoppy, it's because they don't smoke or have COPD, otherwise they would be flip-floppy. If you want to quit smoking to prevent yourself from croaking, come to A Better You for a good acupuncture poking. Call me, Dr. Erica Olstein, with A Better You Healthcare to stop smoking today at 352-615-5566. 352-615-5566.
You're thinking about selling your home, but where do you start? Easy. Call Angie at 352-361-8359. Angie works with you to get your home sold. Angie is more than just an agent with Roberts Real Estate. She's a pro with heart. Call her at 352-361-8359, and you will know you have the right person.
I'm Angie Umpleby, and I'm looking forward to working with you when you call me at 352-361-8359. That's 352-361-8359.
On the first and third Wednesday mornings of each month at 9:05, Robert Colin will be with us from On Top of the World, Ocala's premier active adult community. Be sure to listen and be sure to call in. Speak with Robert to learn about all the exciting lifestyle and new home choices available at On Top of the World. From time to time, Robert will have guests, and we're sure you will enjoy our little chat. You deserve the world, and we bring it to you. So be sure to tune in on the first and third Wednesdays of each month right here on The Source, WOCA.
Hello, gorgeous. Hi, this is Becky at Hello Gorgeous Salon. We are located in the heart of downtown Ocala, right next to the historic Marion Theater. I'd like to invite you to stop by and see our new boutique area and meet our staff of professional stylists. Here at Hello Gorgeous, we are ready to update your look with the latest trends. And with summer here, it's the perfect time to brighten up your look. So make your appointment now for those highlights and Brazilian blowout. But don't stop there. We are a full-service salon offering manicures, pedicures, and facials also. So if you've been searching for a salon to call your own, come and see us at Hello Gorgeous Salon. We are located at 48 South Magnolia Avenue in downtown Ocala, right next to the Marion Theater. So call today and set up your appointment at Hello Gorgeous Salon at 351-5358. That's 351-5358. And don't forget, we also do men and children's cuts too. 351-5358. Hello, gorgeous.
The sound of the bat cracking, the crowd cheering, the smell of overpriced but tasty hot dogs, the memories that will last a lifetime of your first baseball game with little Johnny. Your team wins. It was a great night until you get home. It's 9 p.m. and your wife says you have no water.
We have no water.
What do you do?
What do you do?
Rule number 1, don't panic. Remain calm. Okay, that's 2 rules.
We don't have time for jokes, funny man.
Okay, think back. On the way home, you heard a radio commercial.
Mike's Got Plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it.
Eureka. You saved the day. You remembered that Mike Scott Plumbing doesn't charge extra for nights, weekends, or holidays. You are a genius.
Hey, Mr. Genius, did you remember the phone number?
Of course you did. Remember, you're a genius. 352-237-2888. Because at Mike Scott Plumbing, if water runs through it, we do it. Even if water's not running through it at this particular moment. Mike Scott Plumbing.
And we're back with more Veterans News. While we were off the air, we had a question, and I will facilitate this question. We're talking about your skin and your protection of your skin and the different sprays, and I learned that it goes up to 170 or 175 SP what?
No, 100 SPF.
SPF. In other words, your skin protection from the sun.
Sun protection factor.
Right,
Yeah.
sun protection factor. And what was the question? No, I forgot the question, Doug.
Well, essentially 30 SPF is a total complete sunblock.
Oh, yeah.
So more than that probably doesn't gain you much, but the important part is getting enough on and getting so it covers every area. And then
you would say a spray is better, or in the hand and then really rub it in down your face? Because spraying your face is kind of dangerous with getting your eyes and everything.
Yeah, sprays are better for the extremities and the torso, and then you've got the liquid for the face.
So you go out I'm going to be an annual member at a theme park, hopefully pretty soon.
Mm-hmm. Which one?
When they pay for time, they can come on. I'll push them more.
Right.
But I'm going to start 7 in the morning. I'll be there, and I'll put this stuff on. And I know on the bottle it says good for how many hours or whatever. What would you recommend for reapplying?
Well, before we get to that part, I'd recommend wear a hat.
I always wear a hat. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
wear some shades, sunglasses.
I have the
or glasses
clip-ons
you
that
can
go
have-
over the top. Okay.
Great, that block UV because you want to protect the eye from UV to avoid cataracts.
Okay, is there a test for? Now I bought the sunglasses.
They should say on their UV protective
It didn't.
on there.
I know they didn't have it. So how would you? Is there a test? Can I take it to an ophthalmologist? What do you call them?
Yeah, I would. I've got prescription glasses, so I ask them about that. But most of the sunglasses we say they'll have a little thing that you have to peel, an annoying little sticker you have to peel off the lens that says UV protective. And if not, then you don't really know for sure. But I don't know of any specific way. I mean, if you had some real nerd scientist, they might be able to do some tests, but that's not easily available.
Okay.
But also go ahead and cover up parts of the body too. I mean, you wear a shirt that covers part of the shoulders. You don't have to worry about the shoulders burn because they really get clobbered.
Oh, yes.
You've got a hat that's got a brim, so you got the top of the ears as well as the nose
brim.
covered.
See now a baseball cap is usually what I usually wear.
Yeah. So if you want to wear a
My
base
ears
cap,
are totally exposed, so then you would
make sure you got good sunscreen on that and replace it about every 2 to 3 hours.
That's what I was going to ask. About 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
Take a break and just.
Reapply.
Yeah, and they have what they call the teaspoon rule, was a guide of how much sunscreen to use. If you're, like you say, you're going to be at the beach and you're going to be exposed quite a bit, they'll say 1 teaspoon of sunscreen to the face and neck area is about what you need for 1 teaspoonful for the face and the neck to get that done. And for the upper extremities, you need about a teaspoonful for each arm of the sunscreen, and for the legs, 2 teaspoonsful for each leg if you're getting the whole thing, the whole coverage. And for the front and back of the torso, you need 2 teaspoons full. So this is just kind of rough guidance for that, how much you need.
I would walk into the theme park and I would have a liquid bottle for my face and my neck and my ears, and a spray for the rest of me.
Yeah. And if you're keeping your head underneath a shelter, you probably don't need too much more on the face. It just depends on which angle. If you're around sunlight,
well, you walk around the theme
water.
park, you're going to be in and out of the sun. So
yeah, and if you get a low angle, then you need to put a little more on the face.
Yeah, because I usually wear a baseball cap and it has the bill on it.
Yeah,
and I wear it the correct way, not the bill in the back of the neck.
What is the difference between like sunscreen made for babies? Is it the eye? It doesn't sting the eyes, and why don't they make that for adults? Why don't they make it so it doesn't sting your eyes for adults?
Or why can't adults use the baby stuff?
Yeah, would that not be a good idea?
Yeah, I can just check with the sun protection factor. That's the important part. And they do make stuff that claims not to bother the eyes, but it's more expensive. And if you have a hat on, you probably don't need stuff on the forehead above the eyes. You just need it around the lateral aspects underneath and down, and that's probably not going to roll into your eyes unless you're rubbing your eyes quite heavily or hanging upside down from a monkey bars.
Oh, that's the other thing. Okay. The other thing is when they say it's waterproof up to 90 minutes in the water and all this, would that, as you said, sweat?
That's the oil factor. The oil repels water.
So it's more oily.
It's more oil.
And off air, you were saying that there are oil-free sunscreens.
And there's terms used. Water resistance usually means the SPF is maintained for about 40 minutes. And with water activity, and very water resistance means it's maintained for about 80 minutes in the water.
So Hawaii?
Pardon me?
Are you going to Hawaii? Did you say you're going to Hawaii?
Oh, I will be next month, yes.
There was a story in the news that some sunscreens are illegal in Hawaii now because
I hadn't heard that.
Because they're ruining the coral reef. Yeah.
I'll be dang.
Huh.
Yeah, I can't remember which ones they said you can't use anymore.
Interesting. Of course, when you see the number of people that are snorkeling in some of those places, like you go to Molokini, you can hardly get out of the boat for all the people. I mean,
really?
If you were really quick, you could probably run to shore on the backs of people snorkeling.
Oh, wow.
I don't have that problem.
Okay.
But you'll send pictures, won't you?
Oh, yeah.
I knew that.
Sure will.
I knew that.
Now, one other thing I'll mention is if you're on certain medications, that can increase your risk of sunburn. And that's something we'll want to pay attention to. Tetracycline antibiotics are particularly notorious for that. And fortunately, these are used only once in a while and for short duration. They're not chronic medication, except in certain skin conditions. Sometimes they're on chronically.
So always check with your physician.
Right. And thiazides, such as hydrochlorothiazide, which is a real common diuretic blood pressure pill, that can increase the risk.
I got to look at my blood pressure pill now. Okay.
Antibiotics such as ciprofloxacin and sulfa antibiotics, they can sensitize the skin to sunburn. And some of the Advil, leaves, ibuprofen, some members of that family can actually cause trouble with that.
I don't take ibuprofen anymore. I'm okay.
And St. John's wort, of all things.
St. John's wort.
Yeah, St. John's wort. It's a over-the-counter herbal type of thing that actually can sensitize. It's used. Some people use it for depression and mood concerns. Mm-hmm. And that can actually increase the risk of sunburn as well.
Needless to say, we've got about 5 minutes left of this program. The hour just flew by, and you gentlemen come in with more information. That's fantastic. Next month we can use more of this.
Keep
rolling, because this is stuff that not only veterans can use, but everybody and the people that support veterans and I cannot say enough how I appreciate both you gentlemen.
Oh, well, thank you
for coming in and feeding us this information. It's phenomenal how and I come in and I learn every time. I might ask silly questions, but I look at it this way: if I'm asking a question, maybe someone out there was going to ask it, and they said, "Oh," kind of thing. Yeah, Dr. E, you have something you're reading that's got a question?
Yeah, Larry got the information on that. The ones that are banned in Hawaii are sunscreen containing oxybenzone or octinoxate, which filter UVI rays. Those will be prohibited. But it's the oxybenzone and octinoxate. So if you're getting ready to go to Hawaii, make sure your sunscreen doesn't have that.
So pre-warned, right?
Two things I'll mention about that, too. I do like to snorkel. I don't like scuba dive. But I wear a cap on top of my head because obviously I've got a lot exposed up there.
Yeah, you're challenged like me.
So I do that so it doesn't burn the top of my head. And also I like to wear a long sleeve top that's a water, it's designed to go in the water and stuff.
Okay, I was going to ask. Yeah,
so that covers basically the torso. I don't have to worry about that. Plus, I don't have to worry about getting stung by a jellyfish, at least on that part. The other thing is when
legs go in.
Yeah. The other thing is when I get out of the water and sitting around, the breeze with that moisture, I actually stay cooler than if I didn't have it on, was just exposed to the sun, it'd be hotter. So it kind of helps with that.
Oh, okay.
But there's basically three types of skin cancer we're trying to avoid. There's the basal cell, which can extend locally. There's the squamous cell, which is the outer layer of the skin. The basal cell's at the basal layer of the skin where it starts. The squamous cell's a little bit higher. And squamous cell tends to be less likely to invade the local structures like the basal cell. Mm-hmm. But the big nasty is melanoma.
That one I've heard of.
Yeah, melanoma will go other places and it will kill you. And so it's real important.
From sunburn.
It's related to sun exposure, particularly repeated sunburns seem to aggravate it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And
that's a cancer.
That's a cancer, yes.
That is dormant in our skin, logically. And then the sun activates it?
The skin causes damage the sun causes damage to the DNA. And then it can cause mutations, which will cause that cell to transform into a melanoma cell, and then it can start growing and take off. So it's basically damage to DNA by the sun.
Don't procrastinate. If you think you have something, it's worth a phone call to come in.
Yeah, and at the VA, what we do here, if you've got a funny spot, we take a picture of it. That picture is sent to Gainesville. The dermatologist review it and say, we need to see you by such and such a time. Or if they say it's something safe, you can treat it doing such and such, they'll tell us what to do.
So I should get a picture done, huh? Oh,
yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I got to call my nurse as soon as I get off the air.
Yes.
She's not going to like me. I'm going to call her again. Okay, we've got 1 minute and 15 seconds approximately.
So, talking about calling your nurse, you can call your nurse at this number, 352.
Go ahead.
369 3320. 352 369 3320.
And that's here in Ocala?
That's the Ocala VA clinic.
Yes! Well, don't you hate it when you press 1 for that, press 2 for that, and if it's in it, and it's like, But they do say right at the beginning, if this is an emergency, hang up and call 911.
Also, if you are enrolled in secure messaging, you can email your nurse and your doctor. If you would like to get more information about secure messaging, we have brochures or flyers in the clinic to teach you how to get enrolled in secure messaging. Secure messaging, you can use it through your computer and even through your phone through an app if you have a smartphone. A lot of veterans are using the app and it's working.
We've got to stop you right there because we're done. Thank you, everyone, for listening to Veterans News, and God bless America.
Fox News Radio. I'm Chris Foster. In his first public comments about it since meeting with President Trump,